Here's a quote by Ronald Reagan that I think you'll really like. It says, "Peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means." I love that. Hello, I'm Dan Clark, and welcome to 2 Minutes of Inspiration. I've often thought in the past that if we were just at peace, there was nothing to have an argument about, that there was no conflict. Well, that's not true. Peace doesn't mean the absence of conflict. Peace means that we are actually solving conflict in a way that everyone is not super angry and over the top, with a peaceful means. And I love that. That is so true. So how do you handle conflict? I mean, seriously, conflict resolution is not always easy, but we want to do it in a way that we are collaborating and we are actually understanding and compromising and avoiding the things that really don't work and accommodating the other person. If you're in conflict, here's 3 things that you can do to help. Number 1, listen. Number 2, collaborate. And number 3, accommodate what it is happening towards you. I love you. I'm Dan Clark. I was sitting with my sister the other day and was telling her that I have an ongoing dialogue in my head. Hello, I'm Dan Clark, and welcome to 2 Minutes of Inspiration. It's good to have you with me today. That ongoing dialogue is actually talking about what's happening around me. For example, the other day, I broke a French press. It was glass on the floor, and I'm thinking to myself, "You're so silly, Dan. You broke that. You know, it's okay. You are clumsy, and it's all right. You don't have to worry about it all. You'll get it cleaned up, right?" So I'm telling myself these things as I'm picking it up, and then I was thinking about what my brother would say to me, like, "You're so stupid. You're always clumsy." And I'm thinking, that's kind of interesting that I had those thoughts about my brother. That's because obviously he has said things to me in a negative way in the past, and they just showed up in my brain. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, I don't need to be thinking about that. Then I went back to, it's okay, and I cleaned it up. It was quite messy, by the way, because I got coffee grounds and coffee everywhere in the kitchen. Well, this thinking that we have about ourselves, this dialogue that we have, is always wired with past experiences. So if you start paying attention to the dialogue that you have in your head, and then actually either stop the dialogue or redirect the dialogue to something more positive or more productive, you can actually help how you actually react to things. I'm very seldom reactive, and I very seldom get really angry because I'm aware of my dialogue when it shows up, and I just move it to something that's actually more productive for me. That means that I'm not beating myself up over it. I'm just aware of it. I'm thinking, oh, goodness gracious, I can't believe I'm thinking that. And then I move to something that's either non-negative or turn into something positive. Practicing loving yourself is noticing the dialogue in your head and turning it into a positive dialogue. I love you. I'm Dan Clark.